The genius behind producing Super Mario Kart was the one and only Shigeru Miyamoto. In the director's chair, we had Tadashi Sugiyama along with Hideki Kono. Super Mario Kart started to roll when the idea came of developing a game that was able to show two players on the same game screen at the same time. F-Zero soon came to be one of the main influences, which was mentioned by one of the directors. With F-Zero now in the mix, development got started with the idea of a racing game with a two-player ability. During development of their new unnamed game, the team would run into different problems. Hardware limitations of the SNES would not let elaborate maps into the game with a multiplayer focused gameplay. Racing modes were also something that was intended from the start. Different modes, such as a battle mode, would come later with the intentions of having the users compete for something else rather than for a rank or, say, racing to the end of a map. Mario was never the first intention when the project was in development. The first character to be in that cart was actually just a normal man in overalls. The team would eventually decide on having tall headed characters in their carts. 3 heads tall is what they would wind up looking for. Mario was eventually brought up and was decided on roughly 2 or 3 months after development had already started. Mario was eventually put into a cart and the team thought Mario looked great. He was styling in that cart. Thus, the idea of Mario themed racing would come to light. One fun fact about the development is that it was in use of Mode 7 graphics. What's the Mode 7 graphics, you may be asking? Well, Mode 7 is a different form of texturing mapping which was available on the SNES. This mode would allow a plane to be essentially rotated and scaled freely. This would achieve a pseudo three-dimensional appearance. In 1992, Super Mario Kart was published by Nintendo and it was released to the public. Commercial success would soon follow. 1 million copies sold would make Super Mario Kart the fourth best selling game on the SNES, averaging high overall scores, praises for graphics, and completely capturing its audience. Super Mario Kart would go on to spawn multiple sequels that would be loved for decades. Being credited with different titles, Super Mario Kart is notably known for being the first non platforming game to feature multiple playable Super Mario characters. The kart racing genre started with Mario, and it has been in good hands ever since. The year of 1989. The SNES is looming over the new and current generation of developers and gamers. Nintendo, already having a notable amount of Mario games under its belt, would continue on its work and would have a new Mario game developed specifically to their newest console. That being said, in the director's chair sat Takashi Tezuka, in the producer seat sat Shigeru Miyamoto, and in the graphics designer seat sat Shigefumi Hino. A team of 10 people, including 3 main programmers with a character designer, would handle the development under Nintendo. Super Mario would in fact be the first Mario game series developed for the SNES. What could this mean? Well, new advanced hardware, that's what that means. The newest console had some problems with some of the software tools not being completely developed. This would task the development team with going along with something new. On the bright side, certain restrictions with mechanics, such as scrolling and the numbers of colors implemented in the game, were no longer in the picture. The team would eventually port Super Mario 3 to the SNES. This would show them that the game felt the same with updated colors and sprites. With this information, Miyamoto was able to picture a new goal, so to say. His newest goal was to create something that has never been seen before in a Mario game. One special character that would come from the Super Mario world would be Yoshi. Ever since Super Mario Bros., Miyamoto wanted a dinosaur companion, because a plumber and a dinosaur mixed together equals yes. With the new hardware of the SNES, Yoshi was now possible. With Yoshi now in the picture, the team would then soon set the game in a dinosaur type land. Horse riding would influence the creation of Yoshi, as well as the riding mechanic. Super Mario World had music composed by Koji Kondo. The music had the same themed music from Super Mario Bros. 3, but they would be in a different rearranged form. Using musical instruments, it would take Kondo roughly a year and a half to write the music for the game. 1990 would come and Super Mario World would be released to the public in Japan on the 21st of November. Super Mario World was able to make the launch title for the SNES, It was not until August 1991 in which North America was able to experience this beauty. To this date, Nintendo has sold over 20.61 million copies of the game worldwide. Super Mario World would become the best-selling game for the SNES. The game in all was well received and loved by fans. Multiple sequels would come from this game, and it would continue to show in all of the households all over the place. Yoshi would also grow from this game, and he would go on to appear in many different versions of the game. He was not forgotten or left behind, unlike some characters.